Today, we will see some examples of ratio. Rahul purchased 2 chocolates and 3 pens from a shop. Here, we can say that the ratio of number of chocolates to the number of pens is 2:3. Can you tell some more situations where ratio would be 2:3? There are many situations which have ratio 2:3. Let us discuss them. If 2 cups of flour and 3 cups of milk is used to make a cake, then we can say that the ratio of flour to milk in the cake is 2:3. Do you know that the ratio of breadth to length of the Indian flag is also 2:3? If there are 24 girls and 36 boys in a class, then the ratio of girls to boys is 24:36. Upon dividing its numerator and denominator by 12, we will get the equivalent ratio of 24:36 as 2:3. If a shopkeeper sells wheat at the rate of 26 rupees per kg and rice at the rate of 39 rupees per kg, then the ratio of the cost of wheat to the cost of rice is 26:39. Upon dividing the numerator and denominator by 13, we get the ratio 2:3. Think of some more similar situations in your daily life. Next example. Puneet sells 150 newspapers daily, out of which some are Hindi and some are English. If the ratio of Hindi newspapers to English newspapers is 2:1, then find out how many Hindi and English newspapers Puneet sells. From the given example, we can say that out of 150 newspapers, the ratio of Hindi to English newspapers is 2:1. Can you tell what this ratio represents? Think about it. Let me tell you, this ratio represents that Hindi newspapers are 2 times of English newspapers. That means if we divide 150 newspapers into 3 equal parts, then 1 part will represent English newspapers and 2 parts will represent Hindi newspapers. Therefore, the number of Hindi newspapers will be 2 by 3 parts of 150 newspapers. Thus, the result will be 100. Similarly, the number of English newspapers will be 1/3 part of 150 newspapers. Thus, the result will be 50. Therefore, the number of Hindi newspapers out of 150 is 100 and the number of English newspapers is 50. Next example. A person takes 2 hours to cover a distance from his village to the city. But if he takes the bus, then he reaches in 30 minutes. Find the ratio of the time taken to cover the distance by walk to the time taken by bus. In order to find the ratio between the time taken by the person by walk, that is 2 hours, to the time taken by the bus, that is 30 minutes, we first need to make the units the same. Since 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, 2 hours is equal to 120 minutes. The ratio of time taken in covering the distance by walk to the time taken in covering the distance by bus is 120:30. Usually, we represent this ratio in its simplest form. We write 120:30 as 120 by 30. Since HCF of 120 and 30 is 30, we will divide the numerator, that is 120, and the denominator, that is 30, by 30. So, we get the simplest form as 4 by 1. This can be expressed as 4:1. Therefore, the ratio of time taken by the person to cover the distance by walk to the time taken by bus is 4:1. Today, we have seen some examples of ratio. In the next video, we will see some misconceptions related to ratio.